Welcome to the Builders Sessions, a podcast where we chat with your favorite builders.
We get to know them, their stories, and hopefully inspire you to get off the couch and build something cool. I'm Hoff.
And I'm Rosie, and on today's show, we introduce ourselves and share our stories and chat about the creation of this podcast.
All this and more today on the Builders Sessions.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 0 of the Build. I don't want to put a number on this episode because, like we said in the intro about your favorite builders, we're not considering ourselves your favorite builders, but we want to.
We'd like to be.
We'd like to be. I'd like to be a qualified builder.
Maybe down the road.
Fake it till you make it. But we just want to do a quick episode to introduce ourselves and who we are and who the hell these two idiots are on the microphones.
Introduce yourself, Rosie.
My name's Rosie. My name's Lance. Call me Rosie. Rosie for short. I'm a high school shop teacher, welding and fabrication teacher here in Alberta, Canada. And I have a little bit of background in the automotive industry. I went to Wyotech in 2005, worked in automotive fabrication and like street rod for a little bit. And then I figured out I was allergic to primer dust. And so that didn't work too well for blocking primer and stuff. And then I went into sales. So I started at the jobber level at the auto parts store and PPG rep for the area as far as like technical. So I'd go out and like scan a semi truck to get the paint code for it, and then play around with tinters and mix the color and all that kind of stuff. And then I went and got my education. Well, before that, I worked with worked in a bunch of youth group stuff with young people. And then I got into education, got my ed degree. And then I worked with Hoff over here for a year. And then I went to a different school and started a welding and fab program. So, that's a little bit about me. What about you, Hoff?
My name's Hoff, a.k.a. Corey, but you can call me Hoff. I'm a high school wood shop teacher here in Lethbridge, Alberta. Shortly after high school, decided to enrolled in an apprenticeship in cabinet making and went through that 4-year apprenticeship and got my red seal in cabinet making and started school here at the university, got my teaching degree, which we did together.
Mm-hmm.
A few parts.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention
Yeah.
that. Yeah, we did some of our ed degree together, too.
So went through that and have been at the high school for 6 years teaching wood shop.
It's been good.
It has been, yeah.
So, people probably maybe they're not wanting to know, but we're going to tell you, if you don't want to know, why the hell did we start the show?
That's a good question. Why did we?
Well, I think it's a couple of reasons. First of all, we realized both of us in our individual practices as teachers in the classroom, we realized the potential impact you have on people by just exposing them to different experiences within a shop. So for me, having students haven't touched a welder or anything like that ever, and then after them taking your class, and it's not about us, but having them taking the class and trying these new things, having them decide after that to pursue it as a career, it's a game changer. You have a lot of potential. So we wanted to create a show where we could encourage people to try these new things out because it can change someone's life potentially.
Yeah.
But also we wanted to chat with your favorite builders.
And ours.
Let's
be honest. There's a few.
There's some people we're pretty big fans of.
Yeah.
Pretty cool names, actually. Not gonna lie. So stay tuned for those. I don't want to give that all away, but
let's just say I watched them a lot when I was younger on the weekends.
Yeah, on the weekends.
There's a little tip or hint.
You guys had Bugs Bunny on? What has he built lately?
The Roadrunner.
Yeah. So I think there's that. But also, we want to get to know these builders' stories and really get to know what makes them tick, where they came from, their backstory. Because I think a lot of times we see these people on Instagram or on TV or whatever it is, YouTube, and we just assume they've always been famous or they've always been successful, and that's not the case at all.
There's a process to all of this that every builder has that might not be seen on social media or on stuff that they're putting out for the public. So I think that's another interesting topic that we'll be able to kick into is the process on how to get there and the years of blood, sweat, and tears and tough times and ups and downs and coming out on the other side and sometimes not. And just the whole process on each and every builder kind of brings their own story, and it's going to be quite interesting, I think, for our audience.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to like this. It's pretty cool too, because the idea, like there's a few common themes. We've recorded 6 of them now.
Yep.
And there's a few common themes that every single one of these amazing people have shared about failure, about learning, failing forward. Is that it? That's
falling flat on your face, not even your rear end.
And then learning from that and how to trust the process and all these wonderful pieces of advice. But on top of those two, the third reason is we're hoping to grow in our knowledge and skills of processes and equipment and stuff, and hopefully we can learn with you, the listener, together. We ask every guest that we have on, for instance, what are their 3 favorite starting out tools? And a lot of them, some of them are similar, but a lot of them are different. And it's really cool to see and be like, oh, actually, I need that. Or I need to work on that, or things like that.
I've made a little list already.
Yeah.
Just of a couple.
Right? Exactly. So welcome to the Builder Sessions, and we hope you enjoy the show.
So there's a little bit about the podcast. Rosie, what inspired you to get into this?
Well, I've always been from high school, I was a gearhead. And I really...
Mullet and 72 Camaro?
No.
Trans Am?
Close. Shaved head. Ugh. And 82 Trans Am.
Okay.
So about 10 years old. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. Just don't let it happen again. So, yeah, I was always a gearhead. And then I grew up watching horsepower TV and Power Block and all those things. There's a little spoiler for you. And then I saw Wyotech on TV.
On the commercials.
Yeah. And there's a lot of on Power Block back in the day, or on Spike TV, wherever it was.
Spike TV.
And TNN too.
Okay.
Before Spike. That's way before. There was always some collaboration between Wyotech and these schools, or they do a build or whatever together. They tour the school. And I'm like, I want to go to there.
I had the same thought watching those too.
Right. And I went.
Yeah.
See, that's the difference between me and you, Hoff.
Yeah.
I actually get crap done. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Here we go.
The opposite is true. Let's be honest.
Well, they had all their...
I'm touching the mic again.
They had their restoration classes in hot rod shops. And I was like, oh, that would be so cool to learn how to do that.
So I actually ended up going there. So in 2005, I went to Wyotech. I took applied service management. That you had to take cores, and then you had to take the service management. It's shop management and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I took that, and then I took my core was automotive technology. You could either have done that, diesel, or auto body. So I did automotive, and then my option, or whatever you want to call that, was street rod and custom fabrication.
Sweet.
It was sweet. There was also a chassis fab and high performance engines course that I kind of wish I would have taken.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like what I've learned for sure, but maybe I should have stayed 3 months longer or something. Maybe I can go back. I don't know. Hit us up, Wyotech. Yeah, right.
Continuing student, super senior.
Yeah,
super senior.
Yeah. So, and then I came back and got into the industry. And there's so many. My life is kind of a testament to you don't have to just be on the shop floor if you want to be in the industry, right? You can be teaching. You can be.
Sounds like you've done a lot.
Yeah,
right? In the shop floor, service, parts, teaching.
Yeah, or I just can't keep a job. One of the. One of the two.
Let's save that for another.
Well, we
episode.
didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say that outright, but that's kind of the vibe.
Why did we start the episode?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because we're both unemployed.
We're both idiots. Yeah. No, I think it's just cool to see, and it's opened a lot of doors. And it's if you stick to it, it's pretty cool. What about you? What inspired you to get into this?
Oh, that's a good one.
It's not like it's a surprise that I was going to ask
yeah,
you.
no, that's a good one.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that question.
Huh. Well, I kind of come from a family of builders, and if it's broke, you fix it instead of going out to the store and buying it. So my grandpa had a big shop set up when I was younger, and he was an amputee, so he had a whole bunch of jigs and different things set up so that he could use the shop efficiently for him. Uncle was a welder, and then my dad was kind of do a little bit of everything and kind of just pass those along when I was younger. My mom did a bunch of craft shows when I was younger, so I was always at craft shows in Calgary in different areas. So I would kind of go around and help load all the sewing stuff and take it in, and then I would go off and go look at all the tables and everything that's been made. So I've kind of always been involved and intrigued by woodworking more especially, but even metalwork and stuff like that, just making things, and was always involved at home. We'd make things for Christmas, candles out of old cedar fence posts and birdhouses and just different things that kind of,
so you grew up with like a maker mentality.
Kind of, yeah. We always kind of make our stuff, and that's kind of carried on as I got older, make different cutting boards or different things for family at birthdays and different things. And probably was too young to be operating some of the equipment I did when I was younger, but I think that just gives you, some experience on there. And then I got into shop class in high school, which we have found out that lots of the guests on the show, kind of their turning point or point of, hey, you should get into this, comes kind of from that shop class. So I was kind of the same way to some of that too. Core classes, maybe not the best marks.
Yeah, me too.
Like kind of okay, but not great. But then shop classes, automotive, metal fab, welding, woodworking. I just love that. I like working with my hands. I couldn't sit in a chair for too long and kind of got squirrel brain and, off on one tangent of, I want to build this. And you're supposed to write a essay in English and you're like, what am I going to do in shop class today?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I had a really, really good shop teacher in high school that was almost kind of like a mentor and very open. And
you still keep in touch with him, don't you?
Yeah, we do actually. Yeah. We his wife was our MC at our wedding.
Oh, that's cool.
And then he roasted a pig and prime rib on a homemade spit. So that was pretty cool. And they have younger, I shouldn't say younger now, they're in high school. They have kids now that we kind of grew up. And yeah, it's been really cool to have that. And then, I got into the shop and started my apprenticeship. So I've had some kind of really good mentors, and just being involved with everything and having the opportunity to, throw the table saw into the garage, back the vehicles out and start building and making things. And it's kind of always been in the family. So
that's cool. Yeah, I was really same thing, like shop class. I went into welding. I was just had this weird, no offense, but I just did never want to try woodworking. It intimidated me or something. Yeah. I don't know what it was. But I welded in high school. I welded a engine stand, because when I was in high school, I was really blessed to have like a car community, not just of the guys in my high school, but we started a car club in my hometown. And this one guy, his name was Clay. He actually owns VC Customs in Medicine Hat, Alberta. Big shout out to Clay. He was a big part of my formation. He kind of took myself and my other friend kind of under his wing, and we hung out a lot. We went to swap meets. We worked on our vehicles, and he helped me like swap a 350 into my Trans Am, and we built in this. I bought this 454 powered like 78 Camaro. And then we took the engine out. I was gonna put it into my 55 big back window pickup, and we did a massive burnout with this. It was bored out to 460. I just remember all these specs. Yeah. And it was like the dream. But I had to sell all that after because I had to pay bills and whatever. But
that's why you didn't take wood shop right there.
Yeah.
Your knack was wrenching and right.
But the community was wrenching, and
Yeah.
And I think that has a big part to it too. You kind of, what we talk about with one of our guests, you kind of become who you surround yourself with, right?
Yeah.
Like you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And that was me. I spent my time with gearheads, and I loved it. We organized car shows, and we went to car shows, and Then my buddy started his clay started his own business, and that's the rod shop I worked with.
Oh, cool.
Worked for after WowTech for a bit, and then yeah, it was just really, I owe a lot of gratitude to Clay and that whole community, and hopefully we have Clay on here too. That'd be really cool. But yeah,
Sounds like a mentor.
yeah, absolutely a
Yeah.
mentor. Yeah, he's pretty cool. So
I think no matter who you talk to, there's a mentor of some sort, right? To help share their experience and hopefully by example, and not just saying, hey, you need to do this, kind of giving you that opportunity to build your own skill sets and, figure out the path you want to take, and just kind of guiding and being there for you.
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the questions that we are going to ask every guest that we have, hopefully if we remember, what's your dream build? And this can be anything. This can be, because Builder Sessions isn't just for automotive, it's not for metal fab, it's not just for woodworking, and it's not just for makers.
It's trying to reach everything.
Yeah,
right?
every subject or every trade, if you make stuff. We're even talking about like maybe getting a chef on.
Yeah.
Because they're building.
Some of the smokers from Texas, they're builders.
Right?
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
But just diversifying in that, we're not just talking car builders. So build in general, the broadest sense of the word. What's your dream build?
I've got a couple.
And it could be in any genre.
Any genre. Well, one that would be tied to woodworking side is I'd like to try and, I think it'd be really cool to get a house framed up to lock up and then finish the interior, do all my own flooring, build my cabinets, build my own trim, install that, do some unique metal railings and incorporate kind of different mediums into that. So that'd probably be my wood dream build.
Yeah.
And then automotive, I've got a list from when I was probably 12 years old, and it's changed as I've gotten older. I've got an old 90 Silverado OBS that I would like to fix up and get going. That plan changes almost yearly of what I want to do. Started out really crazy and 4-link air ride, white pearl paint with lime green flames,
roll pan with Corvette tail lights.
Shaved everything, and I'm like,
the 90s.
Spinners, right?
Oh, I saw spinners on a Tahoe the other day.
Did you?
In 2022. Sorry, side note.
Were they the little fake hubcap ones?
They were like dub.
Oh,
like they were.
Nice.
But this thing was clapped out, and it was like, and they were like tarnished. Like it was, it was like a Survivor.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, my son saw it. Or no, my daughter. She's like,
the wheels are
look at those wheels. What's going on? And I'm like, oh, wow, that's a throwback. Sorry, side note.
That's okay.
Squirrel.
So yeah,
that's squirrel brain.
That's kind of changed, and I'm still kind of changing that. That one's a bit of a close to heart one. My dad bought that brand new, and I'd like to get that fixed up so my kids so I can make some memories with them. But aside from that one, 69 Camaro, 69 C10, and a 55 Bel Air. Those are kind of my dream builds. I'm not crazy into automotive and technical side, but on the Bel Air, I'd like to put a 572 in, and just a big old beast. But then I also like one that I could, pack the family or go on a car trip with my wife.
2-door or 4-door?
Bel Air probably 4-door.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Think so?
I think so. Yeah. But then and again, my ideas of what I want have changed since I've gotten older, and I wanted everything kind of flashy. And now I'm like, I'm okay with even the patina look, and then just do the mechanical, do your engine, suspension, drivetrain, get that all good to go. And just, especially here in Lethbridge, when, the wind kicks up and you don't want to wreck your $80,000 paint job, when you have patina, just adds to it.
Just makes it look better.
It does.
That's sweet.
Yeah. So those are some of my dream builds without getting too far into actual details.
What a wagon, like a Bel Air wagon or a Nomad or something. That'd be cool.
That would be. My wife's always wanted to drive a Cadillac CTSV wagon.
Oof.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd
hey?
be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about you? What's your what's a dream build or dream builds that you would like to work on?
I think I do like legit have ADHD and been diagnosed with it, and it shows. It will show in my choices. I'd like to build an earth roamer. like a big
Yeah.
overlanding vehicle. I'm kind of into that right now, and 4x4 kind of thing. I'd also like to build. I think building like a what is it? Like a Land Cruiser would be kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
An older Land Cruiser. I think like a cliche Jeep Wrangler, or like a, some sort of cliche, not cliche, but it's a Jeep.
Yeah.
Build a Jeep. That'd be sweet. I'd also like to, if we're getting into like imports, I like vintage Japanese stuff. So like an older, like 70s Skyline, or like a Datsun 510, like some of those tiny box kind of sedan cars. Those are just cool looking for me. I'd also like the new, was it R34, like the new GTRs, those are sweet.
They are.
Let's see, as far as like muscle goes, my dream car when I was in high school was a 78 Bandit Edition Trans Am. Smokey and the Bandit with the Phoenix on the hood, the whatever, 6.6 was it or something, 455 I think in it. I don't know. So but my tastes have changed. I would still like a, was it like 68 Charger?
Yeah.
Like a Dukes of Hazzard, like General Lee body style,
Yeah.
See, I'm just everywhere.
I like it.
What
about a Mini Cooper? So this is kind of a little side thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But like with a better engine.
Hopped out?
Yeah.
I remember when I was down at
That'd be cool.
trade school down in Vancouver. I had a 99 Sierra extended cab at the time, and I had an air intake, and it was chipped, and
you had a jet chip in there?
Super chips.
Oh,
had it cranked up to 91, and I think I was
cranked up to 91.
Second year, and I was still young and stuff, so I had it right dialed up and pull up to this light, and there's this old Mini Cooper.
It's the size of your door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're sitting at the light waiting to turn up. I can't remember what road it was. I think it was Marine Drive or something. There's this big hill. And I look over and I'm just like, oh, look at this little car, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to smoke this thing.
Not
light turns. I stomp on it. And my truck wasn't really fast, but it picked up pretty quick. This little Mini Cooper just flew by. And I was like, holy crap.
On
rails. It was so cool. I was
just,
like, that's right again, kind of that stock look, and just like,
I love those cars though. Like any car that looks like a toy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was watching.
And it goes fast.
Oh yeah, and it's so fun. I had a '78 Civic, so this is like the first body style, first generation Civic. I had one of those. This is before I knew how to really weld and stuff, and I didn't want. I was spending. This is gonna sound. I don't know. Take this for what you want, but I didn't want to spend all my time in the garage working on this because I had a young child, and so I just ended up just selling it. Now I wish I maybe hadn't. It was pretty rough though. I don't know, whatever. So just, I don't know, anything. I think to sum up my interests is anything unique and kind of weird, and
you can put your own taste on it.
Yeah, and not cliche. Like right now, I bought this like 99 Ranger, and I think we might like drop it a little bit and have some fun. And then I'm not going to give away. We've got another old truck coming. We've got some show builds. We're going to have some really cool stuff going on in the show. So enough about us. Tell us about you. Silence, because they can't talk to us. But you can share and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the show. You can find the show on Spotify, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, hopefully Stitcher soon. Anywhere you listen to your podcasts, that's where you can find the show. YouTube, it'll be on too.
Just audio right now, though.
Just audio. We're working on video. One of our awesome guests kind of encouraged us in that way. So
gave us some critical feedback, which was good.
Yeah, like good feedback, not just which is awesome. And so we're really trying to make the show the best it can be for you, the listener, and provide you. It's not just. Here's the other thing: we don't want to just provide you with fluff and like, hey, here's something I've heard the same interview over. Because I've in researching some of these people, you've heard them being interviewed like 5 times and the same questions asked of them. We're trying to be unique in that way, but we also want to provide you, the listener, with some value to add to your experience, into your life. So there's some practical tips. There's some suggestions on like tools for getting started out, and tips on how to get started in this particular industry, those types of things too, in case you're interested in that. So we just want to provide value, but also an entertaining show that you're okay to waste some time with us with. So,
Thanks for listening to our About Us episode. This is Hoff,
and Rosie.
signing off. Be sure to check out our next 2 episodes with Alex Taylor and Kevin Tates.
For all other episodes and social media links, check out the show notes below. Hopefully this show inspires you to get off the couch and build something cool.